Hey everybody, Sewell of Engearment.com coming at you for the 18-19 season with the Karakoram versus Spark Splitboard Binding Showdown. So for this year, we really went all out. We have the very best from both Spark and Karakoram. The Spark Pro Line Surge Splitboard Binding. Lightweight, functional, beautiful beast right here. Love these things. We have a separate review, detailed review with videos and pictures on this guy on Engearment.com that I'll link to this review. And over here we had the Karakoram Carbon X Prime RP Roberts Edition, that artist right there, Splitboard Binding, their top dog offering. So this is not just apples to apples, it's bushels of apples to bushels of apples. This is awesome. So let's get into what makes these both great, what makes them different, and what might be right for you. So we'll start with the Spark. Spark Pro Line is new for this season. We'll have the Arc, which is a more lightweight and cutout version on the base plate, and the Surge. I'm a pretty heavy guy, so I go with the Surge every year. And it's lighter weight than the previous versions of the Surges. They saved weight on the pillow straps, carbon high back. Just, it's the lightest binding out there. I'll have proof pictures below comparing these two together. It's just a minimalist, strong, functional, sexy beast. This one's all blacked out. I'm not too sure if this is available to the public, but the ones you'll see that are available in the links below will feature some pretty cool colored bolts and stuff like that. They really did a great job. And again, these are handmade in Montana. Spark crew, awesome people. Love them. They do good work. Yeah, these are very light. I think in the 600 gram range. I'll have pics below proving the weight of this size large, okay? How the Spark work, they work on the tried and true puck system. And if you have pucks, I'd recommend getting the Spark metal pucks over the plastic ones. They just work better. They stay in place better. Spark also offers canted pucks. So if you have a wider stance, snowboarding or splitboarding, that's a really cool option to have too. For this year, the 18-19 season, they will be using an enhanced metal touring bracket right here. It'll have updated hardware all throughout, be lighter weight, stronger, and just really badass. The last season, I got to test out the next season's proprietary nylon touring brackets. They're really awesome, but they'll probably be available after the season. Until then, I think it's even better that they have the enhanced metal ones right here. And we'll have details on the specs and the metals and all that involved. But just know that not only is the binding updated and improved in every way possible, but so is the touring bracket. So keep that in mind. And then the other cool feature about the Sparks is their whammy bar. So to engage your high riser right there, that's your low, disengage. So you imagine your truck and pull out, you just boom, there it is. You want to disengage? Boom. Super simple, butter smooth. Be honest, after a couple seasons of using them, I love them. I have had one or two fall off here and there, but I'm like really hard on my gear. It's my job to test things and break things, and also those were prototypes that I was working with. So, you know, everything gets better as more they refine it. So I have not had issue with this one falling off yet. It just works. It's awesome. So that is the Spark Surge Pro right here. Size large, 600 and I believe 40 grams, 680 grams. I'll have exact specs below if I'm incorrect. All right, onto the Karakoram. Oh, one last feature. So on the high back, it's carbon infused and it has adjustability. So for touring, you would disengage it. I have my stuff really tight right now. It's about to go for tour. Always tighten your gear, check your gear, double check your gear, carry backups of buckles and straps because everything does break. All right, so side note aside. For touring, you'd want this for more ability to tour. And then for shredding, I would just engage this guy. And yours won't be as squeaky as mine. I really have it tightened down. So that is a Spark Surge Pro. Okay. The Karakoram Prime Carbon X binding right here. Carbon fiber high back, you can see right here very clearly. This particular one is RP Roberts version. Beautiful Mount Shukson right here. It is literally artwork. I love staring at this thing. The high back also features the ability to adjust for touring. So here you go, you have more range of motion, articulation. If I'm going to be shredding some mellow pow laps, I'll put it on one right there. And if I'm going to do more steeper terrain, I would put it on the more aggressive lean forward. So unlike the Spark, you can't really adjust it on the fly. You need to take a wrench to it to adjust it, but you can really dial in what your stance is as far as angle. So then you can have 3 options, which is really cool, as opposed to 2. More options is usually better. Very much an awesome strap system, like I talked about. Very unique, very lightweight. minimalist, no buckle to break, which is awesome because buckles always break. Always recommend carrying extra strap, extra buckle for any gear you carry with you. And so how this works, you notice also the base plate is milled out right here, it's cut out. So they save weight by doing that, unlike the Spark, but they also have a lot more pieces going on. So it is a little bit heavier than the Spark. It's still extremely lightweight comparatively. It's the last one they offer, but it has more metal going on, also more metal on the sides here. So more contact with your boot, which I feel when I'm riding may or may not, it's all my perception, feel like more contact and more control. Again, it's my perception, you may differ. How it works, you see the interface here is different than this one. So as opposed to sliding on as the Sparks and others do, it actually has active joining technology, meaning it comes down and then it locks into place. So, good job. There we go. See, it's very tight. There. Lock into place. And so, you have multiple points of contact as opposed to sliding in and clamping down like that does, which works really good until these loosen if they do loosen. This has so many points of contact that it creates an amazing feel and feedback from the board. And you saw how tight it was, like it had very minimal play. I might want to adjust that for the next tour tomorrow, just so I can have a little bit of play should I get a little bit of snow or ice in there. So something to keep in mind. The Spark are pretty much self-cleaning. And also of note, that base plate I showed you, this is from last year. So if you order these bindings this year, you'll have a better, more refined base plate. They'll do a better job of clearing snow and ice out. So something to look forward to. When they come out, I'll have them next week and I'll update this review accordingly. How you disengage it, this is very thoughtful. This rubber doodad right here. Previously I would just take a bunch of Gorilla Tape or duct tape and put back here so I can unhinge it, but that works really well. You saw how easy that was. Alright, stay. Alright, so there it is. That's how that works. It comes down, you engage this guy, boom. As you probably saw there, watch this, there's two pins right here, okay? So it latches on right here, and there's two pins will pop out right here. Boom. And so it sucks into the board, which is really cool. I think it creates incredible board feel. You get a couple little bit dampening right there, a little bit of rubber. So again, it's a lot more going on in this binding, a lot more moving pieces and stuff to it. And you get a little bit of flex, which is kind of nice when you're really carving. And how it differs too in a tour mode. You have sleeved axles right here. You can actually take these apart, maintain them, put a little bit of lubrication, and there's some oil. And so, as opposed to creating friction and hinging off of these bushings, the Spark does, it actually locks into place, boom, boom, and then you tour on these sleeved axles, which I think is pretty cool. Not that I haven't I've broken both of Karakoram and Spark over the years. Everybody has, that just happens in the backcountry. What I've had happen sometimes is bushings would fall out in previous generations. They've addressed that for this year, so it won't be happening again. And so, like I said, everything has an opportunity to break. In fact, yesterday we just broke a pair of snowshoes testing them. It just happens, right? So, prepare in the backcountry. Always carry extra buckles, extra strap, a couple extra bolts. I've actually lost bolts when I'm on tour. And tighten your stuff down the night before or the morning before you tour. It's something you should do, like you check your batteries in your beacon, you should check your gear, make sure it's all tightened. You heard how tight I had those things. That's really tight. I might want to dial off a little bit. But just check your gear. Double check before you go out. Make sure you have backup. So the military is saying, I was working on some Navy SEALs, 1 is none, and 2 is 1. So think about that. Have a backup plan. So, that was a long-winded tangent, but it's a very important one. So, to summarize, the Karakoram Carbon X Splitboard binding is the bee's knees from Karakoram. It is super awesome. The Spark Pro Surge is the bee's knees from Spark. It is super awesome. And you can see them side by side, and I'll have pictures below, side by side as well. A little bit different as far as like a little more metal and contact on the Spark, which adds to its weight. Base plate, simpler, more complex. Different kind of mechanism to lock onto the board, whereas this one slides into place and then ramps down. Similar kind of high backs in that they're carbon fiber, carbon infused, and both adjustable for touring and for riding. Both straps are extremely comfortable, pliable, resilient, and provide amazing contact and boot connection. The toe strap on the Spark is probably my favorite. It just works. But again, there's a buckle. Might break in the future. Who knows? This thing is just basically a volet strap. And so less to break. A little bit lighter weight. So as you're probably gathering, I'm not going to tell you which one to get. But I hope that you're making up your opinion as you're watching this review on what is more important to you. A little bit lighter by like 40 or 50 grams for size larges. I'm 11.5 boot. I fit in these very well. So if you are 11 or 12, I think it's a large. Both have great buckles. Both are hand built in America. Washington State, Montana State. So you feel good about that. Both will serve your purposes. I literally ride both, as you can tell. I have both setups because I love both companies. Both people running are great, or individuals running companies are great. Both are great products, and I would recommend both. It's probably not in your bailiwick to get both. So hopefully this review helped point out some of the similarities, some of the differences, some pros, some cons of both bindings. Spark Pro Surge, Karakoram Prime X Carbon. We'll have way more detailed reviews on both of these independently and then comparatively in the review below on Engearment.com. My name is Sean Sewell. Hopefully you found this helpful. Double check your gear, be safe, make smart decisions, and have fun in the backcountry. Take care.